So I recorded this interview with Jo Hayward at BBC Radio Leicester in February, explaining the story behind my WPC 2019 video entry, My Dad, His Parkinsons, Through My 9-year-old Eyes. It was my friend, actually one night, who came into the house, and him and his daughter had been sort of learning how to do Bollywood dancing, and so I stood up with my daughter, and they were like, "Oh, it's just like changing a light bulb. You stand up and you start
twisting your arms,
twisting your arm, twisting your wrists." So we all stood up, and it was all really a bit of a laugh. And I was twisting my right arm fine, my right wrist, and then I just couldn't twist my left wrist as quickly, and that sort of bothered me. And then I realised at that stage I knew there was something was the matter, and that's when they told me that the clinical diagnosis was young onset Parkinson's disease.
Now tell me about your children at this time.
It was very difficult. I mean, Ben, he was 10 when I was diagnosed, and Anna was only 6. You know, it was very difficult to know exactly what to say to them. So we've been always open with them, and we've always encouraged them to discuss it, because obviously this diagnosis is going to have a massive effect, not only myself and my wife Heather's lives, but also the children's lives, and they will be, growing up with it as things change over the years.
There's something about the simplicity, isn't there, of the way children think and talk. It's very in the moment, and you've managed to translate that into film. How did you go about that process?
I find drawing very relaxing. Since being diagnosed, priorities have sort of changed. So the idea around the drawing was to tell the story of the diagnosis. And my daughter, Anna, with her sort of personality, she has come up with little sort of quirky quotes, things that she has seen and things that she has said. And sometimes it's at night when she puts her head on the pillow, just when we give her a hug and read her story and get her into bed, she'll just pop her head up and she'll ask a question, and then I have put them into this story, and it does blow me away what she has observed. And there's a particular frame where one night I've been particularly tired, and when I'm tired I misjudge walking through a door, and I'll hit my shoulder off the door. And she was going to bed that night, and she walked in to her bedroom. She walked in the door frame, and I sort of said, "Well, what are you doing?" And she just went, "I'm just making you feel better." And it was just the most wonderful thing to hear. It just became clear to me that she's living with us as well, and that she really understood. There's a frame in the film about when she says, "Some days when Dad gets home and he's tired, I get him to play Sleeping Lions instead of running outside." I don't know if people are familiar with the game, but it's just lying down. It's just lying down.
It's a great game, that.
For 20 minutes. So she said that a couple of times, and we've played it a couple of times, and I just love sitting down, and it's just a really tender moment, isn't it? Just sitting. I think children in any situation of parents that are unwell or have a chronic disease that they're living with as a family, that the children are very probably more perceptive than people give them credit for.
And do you think that this has given your daughter an outlet to express perhaps some of the feelings that she may unknowingly have been harbouring over the past few years?
I think so. She was 9 last week. The next 3 years will be different. The teenage years will be different. I think that's the beauty of the film, because it just captures that moment in time, and that'll never happen again, and that's it recorded.
And this has taken off, hasn't it? Because it was put on Twitter, and boom, it's out there, and people are loving it, aren't they?
Yeah, there's been a lot of views on YouTube. There's been a lot of positive comments. So, people have said things like it's poignant, it's humorous, it's sad, it's powerful, it's enlightening. But overall, it is reality. And what I've tried to do is really tell the story up to diagnosis, and then what it's like to have a dad who has Parkinson's.
You two must be very proud of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite emotional, you know. Whenever I've shown it to people and I've watched it, it does get me. You know, I do get quite emotional watching it, and I think that's just because it's real, it's there, you know, for people to watch and enjoy. There was a guy from Liverpool contacted me this week, and he said he has young onset Parkinson's, and he's an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and he said he basically, they sat down in the kitchen as a family and they watched it, and that was really the reason for doing it, to get families to talk about it, because the more people talk about it, the more that helps the person with the diagnosis, the care in the family, and also the children. So that's it. That's the story behind the video. I hope you enjoyed listening to that, and please click on the link, watch the 12 videos, and vote for your favourite before the 7th of April. Thank you.